Welcome back to the High School Game Night Halftime Show. I'm Catherine Clark. At this point in the season, teams are really starting to show what they are made of, especially in section play, where several teams have risen to the top and have shown themselves to be title contenders. So let's bring in our high school football correspondent, Jeff Reinhardt of PennLive.com, to look at our local teams and assess how they performed so far this season. Hey, Jeff.
Hey, Catherine. Good to be back.
All right, Jeff, well, Warwick off to a slow start in Section 1, 0-2 so far. So fill us in on their performance over these 5 weeks and how you see the Section 1 race shaping up.
Okay, Warwick's been up and down, hot and cold. Win one, lose one, win one. I really thought last week stung against Manheim Township. They had a chance to pull it out late. Comey Beaversturfer had a shot there to field goal at the horn and missed, and they lose to Township 19-17. Thought they could have used some momentum there, especially going into tonight with Lancaster Catholic on the schedule. Crusaders are playing great, 2 wins in a row, and they're in first place in Section 1. I thought Warwick might try to establish a running game a little more, especially with Gabe Taylor back. He was close to a 1,000-yard rusher last season, but coming into this year, Bob Locker told us, we're going to throw the ball, we're going to spread it out. Really liked Matt Pennypacker. And he's done okay. Jake Shillity's come along, he's been a force. We'll see how they do in the second half here, but with Lancaster Catholic tonight and Wilson still lurking out there on the schedule, it's going to be a little tough for Warwick. Speaking of Wilson, they get Lancaster Catholic next week. For all intents and purposes, that game, depending on tonight's outcome, could be for the Section 1 championship. Warwick's going to need some W's to be in any conversation for District 3 playoffs in Quad A. So we'll see how they do. See if they establish a little more running attack here as the weather gets a little bit colder. See if Gabe gets some more touches for Warwick.
All right, well, on to Section 2, where tonight's 2 opponents, Cocalico and Manheim Central, have been very impressive. We know they're good, but how are they setting up for a crucial playoff run?
Very well, both of them. Unfortunately, somebody's going to lose this game here tonight and walk out of here with a loss. So I would fully expect, looking ahead, I think whoever wins this is probably going to run the table and go 10-0 at this point. I think whoever loses this game will very likely go 9-1 and finish in second place. Both teams, a 10-0 and a 9-1, they're still looking at pretty good seeds here for the district playoffs. I think if Bishop McDevitt runs the table, they're probably looking at the 1 seed. But I would definitely think Manheim and Cocalico will both be fighting there for the number 2 spot heading into districts. It's a shame somebody's got to lose this game because these teams have just been awesome coming in here. So we'll see who survives and keep an eye on the district PowerPoint race as we move forward.
And Jeff, really quick, just give us your thoughts on Ephrata and Conestoga Valley.
Tough start for both teams. Ephrata, of course, wrecked by injuries, which has really stung. They lost a couple playmakers at the end of the summer. Conestoga Valley new coach, Mark Peters, junked the offense, junked the defense, and he put 2 new schemes in coming into the summer. So it took a while for those kids to get up to speed on the new schemes here for the Bucks. The good news is one of them is going to win tonight and get off of this schneid.
And finally, Garden Spot with that key Section 3 loss in Week 4. How are they looking in the Section and District 3 scenarios?
Well, they got back on track last week, beat Elko. I think right now the goal for Garden Spot is going to be to run the table and go 9-1. They still have to play Pius X out of Bangor as their last non-league game. That's going to be tricky, but Garden Spot's going to want to go 9-1 here and run the table from here on out. Maybe they'll get some help from somebody. Somebody will beat Donegal, and they'll go for a tie. As far as districts, don't forget, last year they went 10-0, and they only got the 11 seed. So they're going to have at least 1 loss this year, so they could be stuck near the bottom there of the field, and they might get stuck having to play a McDevitt or a Cocalico or a Manheim Central in the first round. So it would behoove Garden Spot to run the table here and get to 9-1.
All right, thanks, Jeff, for grading our teams as always. We'll check back in with you next Friday.
Okay, thanks.
Don't forget to check out Jeff's work at PennLive.com for all the latest on high school athletes throughout the LL League. Coming up next Friday on BRC 11's featured game, we return to Eagle Stadium as Cocalico hosts the high-powered offense of Lebanon. Can they handle that air attack of Mark Piles and the Cedars? We'll just have to wait and see. Catch it all live right here on BRC 11 in HD. Our coverage begins next Friday at 7 o'clock. That'll do it for the halftime show. Thanks for watching. And just a reminder, High School Game Night's post-game show airs tonight at 10:30 with Chad Landers and Brian Cast. But for now, we'll send you back to Eagle Stadium for second half action between Manheim Central and Cocalico. Enjoy.